Can you imagine if I get sued by George Santos for fraud? I mean, how good would that be? It would be like a dream come true.
Wakey, wakey, Jimmy Kimmel. Your dream has come true. George Santos has filed a 4-count lawsuit against Jimmy Kimmel, and it all has to do with this segment right here. For my avid followers who have hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button and the like button. Oh, sorry, where was I? Dreams coming true. Oh, right. Those avid subscribers have already seen me break down George Santos's career change from Congress to CAMEO, and that career change is what led to this 14-page lawsuit. Let's strap in. To recap, Santos was ousted from the House of Representatives last December after the release of a House Ethics Committee report that alleged Santos had stolen campaign money, fake loan reports, and conducted fraudulent business dealings, among other things. This report was just a drop in the bucket of accusations of lies and fraud, but it proved to be the drop that tipped the bucket over. Santos didn't let the embarrassing expulsion get him down. He found a new home on CAMEO, the platform that allows people to personalize video messages from a variety of celebrities, and not just celebrities, but anyone registered with the platform, which Santos is now. Santos claims he earned more money in a week on CAMEO than he earned in a year in Congress. And it seems like Jimmy Kimmel was contributing to a substantial amount of that income, as he ordered at least 14 videos from Santos. At the current price for Santos of $350, that's almost $5 grand, which leads us to the 4 counts levied against Kimmel. We're going to take these 4 counts in a true late night fashion and do them as a countdown. So, in 4th place, unjust enrichment. Now, there's really just 3 elements to unjust enrichment, and they're pretty self-explanatory. The defendant received a thing of value at the expense of the plaintiff and under circumstances that would make it unjust for the defendant to keep it without paying. Did this happen? This claim would make more sense if Kimmel didn't pay for the cameos, but he did pay for them. In fact, according to him, his average purchase price was around $450 per video because the creators can change their prices, which is even more than they cost now. I just don't see this claim getting Santos anywhere. We're going to dismiss it. Claim 3, breach of contract. Now, this sounds like it could be good, right? To have a breach of contract, you need 4 things. First, an offer and acceptance between the parties. We have that here. George agreed to shoot the video for the price paid by Jimmy. Next, George must perform the contract. He must shoot the video. He did. We're 2 for 2. Third, Jimmy must have failed to perform. Now, that could be that he didn't pay for it, but we do know that that's not the allegation here. Instead, George is saying Jimmy exceeded the scope of the license to use the videos, aka they weren't supposed to be for commercial use on TV, they were supposed to be for personal use. Finally, George claimed he was damaged by this. The reality is twofold. The type of damage that Santos is claiming is very hard to quantify, since Jimmy did in fact pay him. And his damages cannot have anything to do with his hurt feelings or his denigration in the media or anything like that because it's breach of contract. No, instead, when you're talking about breach of contract, you're limited to the dollars on the page of the agreement. So hypothetically, if Santos is right about this claim, Jimmy might owe him the difference between a personal use and a commercial use. Well, that's not nothing, because right now, Santos's commercial use videos are selling for $8,250. That's $8,250. If you multiply that by 14 videos, that's a good chunk of money, maybe around $130,000. However, we don't know that Santos's commercial prices were the same back in December as they are now. And also the things that Jimmy was having him say are simply not things you'd put in a commercial. So the whole gag wouldn't even have worked at all, which is maybe what Santos would have wanted. Counting down to the penultimate claim, fraudulent inducement, claim number 3. That sounds like a lawyer wrote that, but what is that again? It's a misrepresentation or false statement concerning a material fact, knowledge by the person making the statement that the representation is false, and intent by the person making the statement that the representation induce another to act on it, and reliance on the representation to the injury of the other party. Okay, let's break this down. What we're talking about here would be that Jimmy created false personas in false social situations who needed false scripts from Santos. Okay, all good. But then the videos need to harm Santos. How? That's gonna be really hard to prove. The first count, the main count, the count we've all been waiting for is copyright infringement, obviously. But what are the elements of this count? I'm glad you asked. The plaintiff must own the copyright. Check. Under the Cameo terms of service, Santos owns the videos. Okay, fine. And also the work is copyrightable, like it's unique. That's fine. They're not great, but they are unique. Second, that Kimmel copied it. Okay, check here too, because he took it and he aired it on the TV and on social media, so he definitely did that. And copyright violations are a big deal, because in addition to proven actual damages, which would be hard to prove here, Santos can receive up to $150,000 in penalties per video per violation, which is a lot. It's an awful lot. Okay, so now we have a very solid understanding of the allegations against Jimmy Kimmel. And we know he's taking it very seriously too. I mean, just look at his public statement on his late night show.
I am currently embroiled in what may be the most preposterous lawsuit of all time. So good. I mean, this is like getting sued for paternity by Nick Cannon.
Should Kimmel be more concerned? Maybe, maybe not. If he loses, it's a lot of money, north of $1 million probably. But will he lose? Well, let me tell you about an affirmative defense. An affirmative defense is a position taken by a defendant in a case who's saying essentially that even if you assume that everything that the plaintiff says is true, I actually have a get out of jail free card or a permission slip to do what I'm doing. And in this particular instance, Jimmy Kimmel will definitely raise the affirmative defense of fair use. Traditionally, fair use has 4 elements. Each case tends to be very fact specific though. First, you look at the purpose and character of the use. For instance, is Kimmel claiming the videos are his, like he created them? Or is he claiming they're ridiculously funny? Next, the nature of the copyrighted work. Courts are usually more protective of art, music, poetry, feature films, and other creative works than they might be of nonfiction works. Well, what are these videos? They're gibberish, like actual gibberish. That's the whole point of them. It's hard to imagine the court would want to stand up and protect these videos. Number 3, the amount of the source material copied. Well, for this one, that's a big score for Santos because these are not clips. Kimmel was showing the entire video. So finally, the effect of the contested use on the market for the video or on the value of the video. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Santos's lawyers are gonna have to get creative here. Like maybe come up with a tall tale. Because again, these videos are nonsense. They have no value. I mean, they have more value because Kimmel promoted them. Because cameos are supposed to be shown to close friends and that's it. There was no market for these videos. Plain and simple. Kimmel has 30 days to answer the lawsuit from the date that he's served with it. And I, for one, cannot wait to read his response. I'm assuming it will be brutal. I mean, he has Disney's lawyers. They're famously mean. They're conniving. My guess is that they will rip George Santos to pieces, really lampooning his lawsuit, just like Kimmel was doing to Santos to begin with. And I'll just say, from my point of view, he deserved it. What do you think of the claims in George Santos' lawsuit against Jimmy Kimmel? Are his claims fair? Should Kimmel settle? Drop your pro se opinion down below in the comments and hit that subscribe button.
Bye.
The release of a Health Essex. But he did pay for them. But he did. But what are the elements?